Hi, I'm Grandma from Grandma's Footsteps, and today we're going to have a look at part 2 of the Baby Boy memory book that we started a while ago. But firstly, let's have a look at where we've got to so far. We have completed page 1. If you want to see how I've made this, go back and see part 1 of the videos on YouTube. We also started the front of page 2, and we've completed this, and I think it looks gorgeous. And here I have an apology to make. Whilst cutting out the materials to use on the back of page 2, I got a little carried away and actually made them all up without videoing it for you. But don't worry, we're going to go back now and I'll show you how I made it. So this is the back of page 2. It's got flaps, as you can see, which will open up, and inside you've got a large picture frame. So you can just pop a photo in there and it will be protected by the acetate on the front. So now down to the actual making. I'll show you the dies that I use to make the flaps, and you can see I've got two sizes. The largest one I cut out of white card, and the smaller one I cut the patterned card. So as you can see, this is actually longer than the tab. So what I did was I scored it and folded it to make a hinge at the end. And I cut the patterned paper down so that it fitted on, leaving a nice white border. Before attaching the coloured paper to the flaps, I had to remember to place the magnets in the correct places so that they can't be seen once the coloured paper is glued on the top. Next, we attach the 4 flaps using their hinges to the main part of the page on top of the backing paper. Having completed that, we then cut out a square of white card and a square of the patterned paper, the Rockabye Baby paper, and I glued them together, sandwiching the acetate in between them, which makes a nice picture frame. The picture frame then needs to be attached with only gluing the 2 sides and the bottom. This has the added advantage of covering up the hinges from the flaps so that you don't see that piece of white card from the front. I think this makes a very pretty and practical page for your baby's memory book and adds quite a lot of real estate to the page. We will of course be adding more decoration to this page at some point, but I do prefer to do all the embellishments and decorations together at the end. And the magnet makes a nice firm closure on this page. So there we have it, page 2. We'd already made the little tag to go into the top there, and all that remains now will be to attach this page to the book. I've already added the red liner tape, and I will be putting some glue on it as well so that it holds nice and firm into that space. And now for the start of page 3, which unfortunately I also made up. I got really, really carried away. But this is the start of page 3. We've made the tag to go in the top, and we've decided to use a nice green selection of colours this time because of the backing paper that I chose. And this is what we've put into here. This is also a tonic die, but this one will actually make a tiny memory book on its own. It folds out, giving you lots of real estate in the book, and it neatly folds up again to give you a nice little page. So, on to how we made it. This is the main part that's cut out. The die also does all of the fold lines so that you can easily work out which way to fold it up when you want to use it. So we cut that out, and also we're using one of the other dies in the set. We cut out the patterned papers that we've used here. Now you can choose to use the patterned paper with it all so that all the outside is the same colour and all the insides are the same colour. It's entirely up to you. These are the dies, and as you can see, I've got the outside one, which is the large die, and also you've got a plethora of choices here for decoration. So you pick one of the smaller ones that will give you the inner patterned paper, and you can choose whichever ones you want and whichever papers you want to make it look pretty. I used this die for the patterned paper because it's slightly smaller than the outside one, giving that lovely white edge, and it's patterned. This is another die that I used. This one just cuts out a pattern from the centre of the paper. It doesn't actually cut out the shape, and I used that on the very front out of white. Now we move on to the back of the page. I've prepared some items, but this time I haven't glued them all together, so I want to show you what I've done. Firstly, I've cut the backing paper using the die that we normally use, and you notice that this backing paper has some silver on it, which is really, really pretty. So I've decided I'm going to use some silver on this page. Not something I've done before, but we'll see how it comes out. So first of all, we've cut that, and I'll take this opportunity to tell you that I am an Amazon affiliate, and I have made some links down below for you if you're interested in buying any of the materials that I've used in this book. If you do that, I do make a tiny bit of money, but it helps me, and helping me will help to put out more videos. So I hope that you'll find that useful, and hopefully go and find some things for yourself to make a book. And now to the silver, which I hope doesn't cause you too many problems with the lights. Now, what I did was I took the next size down die and cut out in the silver, but I also, as you can see, made a pattern in the top. Now I used one of these dies to create that pattern, and this is the one that I've used. There, that's it. Now that just cuts out the pattern and leaves the rest of it in, so it doesn't cut out the outside edge, which is just what we wanted for this, and that looks very, very pretty and shows part of the pattern paper from underneath. I then cut from another piece of my baby book pattern paper a pocket. This was achieved by cutting out using the same die as I used for the silver, and then cutting along the top so that we have a pocket. So all that remains now is to glue all this together and see how it looks. Before I go, I must mention I've put red liner tape on the back of the pocket here. Not something I normally recommend, but because we're sticking it to silver shiny paper card, it might not stick properly if we only use glue. So that's what I decided to do with this particular pocket. I will now get all this glued on in place, and then we'll come back and have a look and see So here it is. I've glued on 3 sides of the silver and 3 sides of the pocket, and I've made some pretty little tags using one of the shapes that we've used in an earlier video, or an earlier part of the video, and we've used a smaller version of that die to cut some pretty papers to go on either side. And there we go. Pop them into the pocket, and there is our page looking really pretty and shiny. There we go. I'm really pleased with that. So all that remains now is to glue these pages into the book. Here we go. So, I've already put the red liner tape on, but as I've explained before, the red liner tape is not quite wide enough for the tab, so I add some glue. The link to the glue is down below in the description if you want to use the same glue as I do. And so I've put the glue on. Now we take the backing off the red liner tape, which is not always the easiest job, and sometimes it just decides to embarrass me in a video and not come off. But come along. There we go. Right, so now we need to line this up with the page that we put in before. And the tab that we cut gives us a perfect spacing. All we need to do is to make sure it's as straight as it possibly can be and level with the top and the bottom, and we press that on well and push it down so that it is well adhered, and there's your page attached. So we do the same with the next page and it will be almost complete. And there we have it, the first 3 pages of your baby boy memory book. I hope you've enjoyed the video and you've learnt something, hopefully, and I've really enjoyed showing you this. So let's just have a quick look at what we've managed to achieve. We have 3 pages in the book, and I think it's coming on really nicely. We've got tabs and tags and a little page here that opens up with a magnet on it with a tag included. A small diagonal type tag just there. And 2 tags in there. I didn't want to cover up the page with the pram and the teddy bear because it looks so beautiful. But I have used a similar paper on the small page there next to it. Okay, so that's what we've achieved, and here are our new ones that we've done today. We've got the blue one with the flaps and the huge picture frame inside, and I think it's getting there. I really do. And then the one with the small Tonic memory book die in there, all looking very pretty in the green and giving you lots and lots of real estate to play with just there. And I think it's given you some ideas that you can go with. Of course, you don't have to make your book looking the same as mine. You can go ahead and do whatever you want. It's your project and you do what you want to do. So there you go. Three pages. We're getting there. So all that remains is for me to thank you for coming and joining me today. Hoping you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And remember that I have put some Amazon affiliate links below in the description so that you can find some of the items that I have been using here in my video today. With the current situation in the world, please take care out there and Look after yourself.